Hey brother! Jay, over the past few weeks, we have been running a tournament over on Twitter trying to decide who is the best animated Disney villain of all time. The contest was a blast to watch and figure out who you guys thought was more villainous than the others, with our first upset happening in the first round when Mother Gothel went down to Maleficent, but hey, she can turn into a dragon. Jafar, who I personally had ranked very highly in my own personal bracket, had a tough tournament, barely squeaking by against Ursula in the Elite 8, and then getting narrowly defeated in the Final Four against Yzma by less than 1%.
I win.
In the end, it came down to Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove versus Scar from The Lion King, two characters that I personally absolutely love for radically different reasons. But ultimately, it was no contest. Scar was the undisputed champion, so today we're gonna count down the top 10 reasons why Scar is the best animated Disney villain. Guys, just a reminder that this Saturday, September 22nd, Jay and I are making a super special announcement about a secret project we've been working on for the past 7 months. So be sure to hit like the little bell down there so you get the notification whenever the video goes live. But anyway, best Disney villain. This was such a fun tournament to watch play out because everyone seems to have a slightly different interpretation as to what the best villain actually means. Does it mean the most evil, the most successful, ambitious, powerful, or even just the most likable? Now, I'll tell you the way that we actually determine the seeding for these contests is by having everyone here at SuperCarlinBrothers HQ categorize who they think would win at top to bottom, and then we have an aggregate score for each person and basically just sort them that way. And while we argued about so many of them and why they deserve their own specific spot in the equation, the one thing that all of us had in common was Scar in the #1 position. He is just so iconic, no matter how you slice the word best. So let's just dive on in with number 10, claws out. Scar is the only lion throughout the entire movie to always have his claws out, just sort of invoking that evil vibe from him. And now he is amazing at using his patented scarcasm to kind of glaze over this effect, to kind of hide his true nature.
Oh, I shall practice my curtsy.
But his claws, they're just oh so telling, and they're even more of a symbol of his threatening nature than they are even an actual threat. Because he seems perfectly aware of the fact that he couldn't overcome Mufasa in a one-on-one battle.
Well, as far as brains go, I got the lion's share, but when it comes to brute strength, I'm afraid I'm at the shallow end of the gene pool.
And yet, claws out all the time, that physical display of the threatening nature. Number 9, his name. Fun fact, did you know Scar's name isn't actually Scar? It's Taka, which yes, means that the scar on his face isn't just like a weird coincidence with his name, it's actually where it comes from. Which is kind of awful coming from the rest of the family if you asked me. Like, come on Mufasa, be nice to your brother. That'd be like if I called Jay Glasses, which I swear I'm going to stop doing any day now. Actually, fun fact, did you guys know that we have sunglasses available at supercarlinbrothers.store? Click the card. Although, to be fair, Taka in Swahili actually means waist, so I think given the two options, I probably would have gone by Scar too. And in case you were wondering, we know where the scar on his face came from. It was when him and Mufasa were cubs. Taka was attempting to make Mufasa look ridiculous by having him go up against a water buffalo, but at the last minute, the water buffalo changed targets and actually slashed Scar across his face, giving him the scar. Number 8. His motivation kind of makes sense. So probably on your first 100 passes of The Lion King, you're under the impression that Scar just really wants to be in power, and his only real motivation is that he's kind of next in line for the throne.
You should have been first in line.
Well, I was first in line until the little hairball was born.
But when you start peeling back the layers, how much sense does it really make? Like, he's kind of already in a comfy position within the Pride. Does he just want power for the sake of power? And well, yes, on some level, that's exactly it, but it does go deeper than that. Because Scar being second in line to the throne isn't the result of birth order like it is with most royal families. If you think about it, him and Mufasa were essentially born at the same time, in the same litter. It's kind of like if you have ever known twins ever, one of them will always be like, well, technically I'm 2 minutes older. Always, every time, without fail. But imagine instead of that being an annoying joke that your sibling makes all of the time, it meant that you didn't get to be king. I agree, that would suck, and that's still not even the case for Scar. Yeah, it wasn't predetermined by birth order, it was actually like post-determined by which one their father liked more. So going back to our twins example, this would be like being born 2 minutes after your sibling, having to hear about it for the rest of your life, and then having your parents tell you that they actually like the other sibling more. This is why parents shouldn't have favorites. Mom and dad just love glasses. And so as you can imagine, poor young Waste, no, Taka didn't take the news very well. And that's why he planned for a buffalo to attack his brother. Number 7, be prepared.
Be prepared.
Yep, move over every other villain song ever, except for maybe Love is an Open Door. That one is truly horrifying.
We finish each other's
sandwiches.
Truly nothing worse than somebody finishing your sandwich. But no, this is how you give kids nightmares. Like the green smoke, the creeping lion, it kind of just makes you feel like Scar's about to jump out at you at any moment. Which is specifically why we never open the door. But back to Be Prepared. The song itself is amazing and Jeremy Irons' voice is spectacular. And even just beyond the performance itself, the lyrics really reveal just how diabolical Scar really is. For one, most of the song isn't even about his actual plan. It's really just sheer propaganda for the hyenas so they will be a part of his army. And you learn that he's chosen the hyenas specifically just simply because they're stupid, and he says it directly to their faces over and over again, and they don't even seem to care.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Come on, guys, how are you not offended by this? He's taking advantage of those that are easily manipulated and unorganized and greedy and basically promising them power, and he's been doing it for 20 years. And while we're talking about hyenas, that leads us nicely into numbers 6 and 5. He has an army of hyenas and he's basically Hitler. Okay, so let's just talk about Scar's plan for a second. Why does he need an army of hyenas? Once he's king, he has like a legion of lionesses to fight for him. Maybe he needs to recruit Bonsai, Shenzi, and Ed to help get the stampede started so that happens. But other than that, what do you need the rest of them for? And the answer is rule number 1 of dictators: pay your security first. And this is a real thing. Through history, dictators actually always do this. Basically, even though Scar's plan works out perfectly and he has a clear path to the throne, he needs to protect himself in the future just in case anything else unforeseen happens. Like even when he totally ruins the ecosystem and runs it into the ground, like too bad, can't fight the hyenas. Even if somebody finds out what he has actually done to get the throne, too bad, can't fight the hyenas. Also on the Hitler note, in Be Prepared, he literally has the hyenas like goose-stepping in front of him. This is just pulled straight from the Nuremberg rallies. Number 4, backing it up a beat, he destroys an entire ecosystem. Like, sure, Thanos kills trillions by snapping, but at least he's doing it to try to fix the problem. Scar literally breaks down the whole system. I didn't fully understand why this happened. Like, at times it almost even felt unfair to Scar that just because he was in power, it got really cloudy and everything died and there was no more grass. Like, why does this happen? Because of overhunting? And the answer is yes, because of overhunting. This is what happens. For sure, it's a little dramatized for the movie, but overhunting, or for that matter, even underhunting, can have dramatic effects on an ecosystem. This point kind of brings the movie full circle of life by going back to that original conversation between Mufasa and Simba where he's basically explaining the delicate balance of how everything works.
Dad, don't we eat the antelope?
When we die, our bodies become the grass, and the antelope eat the grass.
Yeah, you don't die as often as you eat the antelope. And there's actually a really cool real-world example of this happening with the wolves at Yellowstone National Park, where they were overhunted and then actually re-released, and the effects on the environment are crazy. We made a full video about it. You can check it out by clicking the card. But up next is number 3, Simba's guilt. It's a key plot point in the movie, so let's review what exactly has Simba done wrong as a lion cub. Sure, he tricks Zazu and disobeys his father by visiting an elephant graveyard, but what does he actually have to do with Mufasa's death? Absolutely nothing. Well, he did scare that one chameleon, but I don't think that was related.
Scar!
Simba does nothing wrong, and somehow within 10 seconds, Scar manages to convince him that he should be racked with so much guilt that he abandons his family and kingdom for years.
If it weren't for you, Mufasa would still be alive. It's your fault he's dead.
Even when Simba returns, it's kind of reluctantly. He knows he's going to have to face his past upon his return. His return has nothing to do with finding out what Scar has actually done. It's just because good old Ghost Dad found him in a field. And even then, upon his return, Scar almost talks him out of it within minutes and turns all of his allies against him.
Tell me it's not true.
That is like some master next level emotional manipulation happening there. Number 2.
Pumbaa, not in front of the kids.
Different number 2. His plan actually works. In terms of Disney villains, this is momentous. Most of them don't succeed at all, and even if they do, it's typically reversed very, very quickly. Jafar becomes a genie and then promptly gets trapped in a lamp. Ursula finally gets a trident and then gets stabbed by a boat, and Hades releases the Titans, and then Hercules shows up. Scar carefully plans the murder of his brother for his entire life, raises an army, runs his brother's heir out of town, and is welcomed to the throne and runs it for years. He's king for a significant amount of time. Mission accomplished. His only one single hiccup is telling Simba what actually happened 1 second too soon.
Killed Mufasa.
Which brings us to number 1, of course. He kills Mufasa.
Long live the king.
Chills, guys, chills. Look, I can still go back to the moment in the theater when I saw this happen. It just goes against everything any TV show or movie has ever given us. When the hero actually goes down. Oh no, Simba's in trouble. Oh, thank goodness Mufasa's here. He's totally gonna save him and figure out what Scar did. Yay, Simba's saved exactly as planned. Oh no, he fell back in. I wonder if he's going to be okay. Oh yeah, there he is, jumping out. Surprise, surprise, totally fine. Wait a second. What is that? What is that? What is happening? What is, no, what? Shut up, I'm not crying, you're crying. Also, this one's not on the list, but can he totally summon lightning on command? Yeah, I totally think he can. But there you go, guys. That is why Scar is the best Disney villain of all time. For my question of the day, what are your thoughts here? What is your favorite Scar moment? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the towel section down below. Guys, are you heading back to school? Do you love YouTube? Do you miss recess? We may have just the thing for you. Over at SuperCarlinBrothers.store, we have all sorts of really cool new merch titled YouTube is My Playground. Whether you want a hoodie, a t-shirt, or stickers, we've got it all. Go on and check it out. But guys, as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to see some more Disney action from us, you can click right here to find out about Simba's magic roar, or right here to find out why Disney parents are just always so dead. But Jay, that's all I've got for you today, man. I will see you on Tuesday.